Good afternoon, Matt. Yes, that's right. Climate change is a relatively huge issue here in the electorate that houses Longreach. We're in the Maranoa district. It's actually held by the Agricultural Minister, David Littleproud. And just to give you a sense of the size of this electorate, it actually spans 700,000 square kilometres. That's twice the size of Germany. And there's a lot of large cattle holdings, you've got large sheep holdings, and all of these farmers are really feeling the pinch of climate change throughout the past 5 years where they've been struggling under severe drought conditions. Now, over the course of the past few days, I've been traipsing around dirt roads, speaking to a lot of these farmers that are affected. Take a listen.
With the Australian election only one sleep away, the environment and climate change firmly in focus in electorates across the nation. And one of the biggest environmental impact stories, not only of this election cycle, but of the past 8 years, has been the proposed Carmichael coal mine, to be developed by India-based Adani. Activist groups and protesters using the mine as a lightning rod for the greater issue of climate change and what they see as a lack of substantive change by federal and state governments. And as voters go to the polls, both sides putting forward a different view on the way forward. The coalition campaigning on its development of the Snowy River Hydro project, along with an overall reduction in emissions, while the opposition really taking aim at the status quo with plans to cut emissions by 45% and for 50% of power to be from renewables by 2030. That move designed to take full advantage of a changing wave of mentality that many have towards the environment. And while the opposition to coal, Australia's largest export industry, continues to be a hot button issue, especially in the capital city electorates, those same voters looking for Australia to substantially reduce its overall emissions footprint, for farmers, especially out here in the far reaches of the Australian outback, already having been ravaged by the past half a decade of the most severe drought conditions imaginable, coal isn't necessarily the issue, nor are emissions, nor are global warming targets, but rather for them it's the most basic of human needs, a steady supply of clean water.
We do have issues, and it's not only in Carmichael. You know, we want to know how our Great Artesian Basin is going to be protected. We aren't told that, but in Queensland here there's two regulators for the Great Artesian Basin. Communities and agriculture are highly regulated, and then there's another other regulator that covers mining and gas extraction, which is unregulated, and virtually those mining companies can take what they want.
And for some farmers, like Angus Emmett, who owns the Noonbar station 3 hours from Longreach, a feeling of being completely fed up with policymakers.
We're having a total lack of leadership by our politicians, and we really need to act on it. What we need in regard to policy is to use data, not dogma, and we're just nowhere near that from any political party. They're just treating it as a joke, really, and I'm just very frustrated by it.
And it really is everyone that you speak to around these parts that are very upset with policymakers when it comes to climate change, and with the votes so very close, 51 to 49 in favour of the opposition, and all the marginal seats in Queensland also very much impacted by environmental issues, it really will be interesting to see just how much of an impact this has on the election moving forward. Matt?
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.